strength I've found. You know my name, you know my heart. You've been here from the very start. You got my life, you will never leave. You are here with me. You know my name, you know my heart. You've been here from the very start. You got my life, you will never leave. You are here with me. Oh, my shepherd, I will follow you high and low. You are here, I know. Oh, my shepherd, I will trust in you high and low. For you are with me everywhere I go. There may be giants in the land. Ooh, Lord, you take my hand. There may be trials all around, but strength I've found. Oh, you know my name, you know my heart. You've been here from the very start. You got my life, you will never leave. Lord, you are here with me. Oh, my shepherd, I will follow you high and low. You are here, I know. Oh, my shepherd, I will trust in you high and low. You are with me everywhere. Oh, my shepherd, I will follow you high and low. You are here, I know. Oh, my shepherd, I will trust in you high and low. For you are with me everywhere I go. Never gonna leave me, never gonna leave me. Oh, oh, oh. You're never gonna leave me, never gonna leave.
You the story of Emily. There lived a young girl called Carol. She was 6 years old and a very popular girl in school. She was friendly and sweet, and everyone wanted to be friends with her. One day, a new girl called Emily came into Carol's class. She was a quiet and shy little girl. She went and sat all by herself in the last row. Carol, who was sitting in the front row, turned back at Emily and smiled to make her feel comfortable. Emily smiled back at her, a little hesitant. The teacher entered the class and began teaching. Soon, the bell rang and it was lunch break. All the children got up and ran out into the garden to play, except Emily. Carol was about to leave the classroom and she looked back and saw Emily sitting all alone, looking out of the window. Carol went up to her and said,
Hey, why don't you come and join us? It's fun during the breaks. We all play together. Come!
Emily didn't know if she really wanted to go out and play with the others. She was feeling very shy in her new school. But Carol would not leave her alone. She pulled Emily by her hand and ran out of the classroom. She took her out into the garden and brought her to her other friends.
Look, we have a new friend. Everyone, meet Emily. Emily, These are my friends.
Emily smiled shyly. There was one boy in the group who did not smile back at Emily. He said,
No, I'm not going to play with her. I am not playing if she's playing with us.
Saying this, he stomped off. Emily started crying and she ran away from everyone. Carol was angry with Tim for his rude behavior, so she made a plan and discussed it with her other friends. Next day, after class, Carol went out to play with her friends. They took Emily with them too. But this time, they did not take Tim along with them. Tim sat all by himself and watched everyone playing together and having fun. He felt really bad. He thought to himself,
That's okay. They'll want me to play with them tomorrow.
The next day, the same thing happened. Emily, Carol, and all of their other friends were playing together, this time too without Tim. Tim was very angry with Carol for leaving him out. He walked up to all of them and said,
How can you all start playing without me?
Now, do you realize how Emily must have felt when you chose not to play with her?
Tim realized his fault. He apologized to Emily and they all started playing together happily. So, it is never a good feeling if people don't choose you.
The Holy Tales.
I'll tell you children a story about two brothers. That will lift up your moods. Once upon a time, there lived two brothers, George and Harry. Their father was the owner of a very large farm. But now he was too old to work on his farm. So, one day, he called his two sons and said,
Sons, I am old and sick. I cannot work on this huge land anymore. So, I will divide the farm into half and give each one of you half. I know both of you will work together and take care of one another.
Soon, the brothers started working together. At first, they were best friends and shared everything together. Then one day, suddenly, they had a fallout over a huge argument and they stopped speaking to one another. Years went by and both the brothers did not speak a word to one another. One day, a carpenter came to George's house asking for some work.
Sir, can you provide some work for me, please? Is there any work that I can do for you?
George thought for a while and said,
Yes, there's something I can give you to work on. I want you to build a fence on my property near the stream, which will separate my farm from Harry's. Build a high fence so that I do not have to see him anymore. I'm leaving for town now and I want to see the work done once I am back in the evening.
That evening, when George came back from the town, he was shocked to see that the carpenter had not followed any of his instructions. Instead of building a high fence, he had built a bridge over the stream. Angry, George walked down the bridge to take a look at it when he saw his brother Harry walking towards him from the other side. Harry was very happy to see that his brother had built a bridge between the two of them. He did not know it was otherwise. Harry said,
I cannot believe you built a bridge to welcome me back, even after all the terrible things I've done to you.
Harry reached out for George and gave him a tight hug. George was very happy too. He was pleased with the carpenter that he had managed to bridge the gap between him and his brother. Later, when George went to thank the carpenter, he was nowhere to be found. George realized it was God who had sent the carpenter to bring both the brothers together.
I am sorry, Tubby. I shouldn't have been so rude. Now I understand my mistake. I am sorry too, Freckles.
The Holy Tales.
Let me tell you the story of a little boy named Carter, who thought he was the best among all his friends. Long time ago, there lived a young little boy named Carter. He was a vibrant and playful boy and had many friends in his neighborhood. They all used to gather in the afternoon and play together in the park and in their gardens. Soon, they made Carter the leader of their group. All of Carter's friends were happy and they all had fun together. They were happy with Carter and the choices of games he decided to play every day. One day, Carter thought to himself,
I think my group is too small, and they are not scared of me. I am too lenient with them. I need to establish my leadership on them more.
That afternoon, when he went to play and all his neighborhood friends came together, Carter announced,
I am the leader of this group, but I don't see too many people following me. What I need is a throne for every one of you to look up to me.
So Carter raised his hand and shouted out in a commanding voice.
9 of you, come here.
9 children came forward and gathered around Carter.
Now stand on one another's back, and that will be my new throne.
The 9 children were hesitant about Carter's command, but did as they were told. Carter climbed on their backs and had a quite high and wonderful view. But Carter was not happy. He wanted his throne to be higher so that he could have a better view of his friends below him. Carter shouted from the top,
More of you come and join. I want a higher throne.
Carter felt very important. He swelled with pride and feeling too good about himself. All his friends came and joined the others and climbed on each other's backs to make a higher throne for Carter. At the very bottom was Jim. Jim was not very strong or big. He struggled under all the weight of all his other friends and couldn't take the pressure anymore. He tried to stay strong when suddenly his nose tickled and he sneezed. Carter's throne shook and he fell down right into the mud from his lofty throne. Now, Carter was all covered in mud and dirt. So, when you think too highly of yourself, you often end up having a big fall.
Oh no! I do not want to fall down in the mud like Carter. I am sorry, Gumbo. I am sorry, Freckles.
It's okay, Tubby. I hope now you all know you should never think of yourself to be better than others.
Yes, I do, Holy. I really do.
All right then, kids. This was a nice storytelling session, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. Of course it was. Like always.